lesson. This is just a little mini lesson to kind of get you prepped up about forming a new habit. I'm actually going to be reading a portion of an article written online by James Clear, and it's titled, "How Long Does It Actually Take to Form a New Habit?" which is backed by science. So that's the name of the article, and it's about this plastic surgeon back in the 1950s, Maxwell Maltz, when he began noticing a strange pattern among his patients. So every time he performed an operation, like a nose job or something else, he found that it would take the patient about 21 days to get used to seeing their new face. And similarly, when a patient had an arm or leg amputated, Dr. Maltz noticed that the patient would sense a phantom limb for about 21 days before adjusting to the new situation. And these experiences prompted Maltz to think about his own adjustment period to changes and new behaviors, and he noticed that it also took himself about 21 days to form a new habit. And so he wrote about these experiences, and he said, "These and many other commonly observed phenomena tend to show that it requires a minimum of about 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and a new one to gel." And about 10 years later, in 1960, he published that quote and his other thoughts on behavior change in a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, which went on to become a blockbuster hit, selling more than 30 million copies. And that's actually when the problem all started, because in the decades that followed, Maltz's work influenced nearly every major self-help profession, from Zig Ziglar to Brian Tracy to Tony Robbins. And as more people recited Maltz's story, like a very long game of telephone, people began to forget that he said a minimum of about 21 days. And they all shortened it to say it takes 21 days to form a new habit. And that's not always just for the new habit, but it's for the adjusting to a new situation. So with a nose job or the phantom limb, and then it could be a habit as well. But it's a minimum of 21 days. So that's why the 21 days is actually a myth and how it spread. And it's easy to understand. Well, the time frame is short enough to be inspiring, but long enough to be believable. And who wouldn't like the idea of changing your life in just 3 weeks? But the problem is that Maltz was simply observing what was going on around him and wasn't making a statement of fact. Furthermore, he made sure to say that this was the minimum amount of time needed to adapt to a new change. So the real answer of how long it actually takes to form a new habit is what I'm going to talk about next, and which is why my course is 10 weeks long. So how long it really takes to build a new habit, there's a health psychology researcher at the University College London named Philippa Lally. And in a study published in the European Journal of Social Psychology, Lally and her research team decided to figure out just how long it actually takes to form a habit. So the study examined the habits of 96 people over a 12-week period. And each person chose one new habit for the 12 weeks and reported each day on whether or not they did the behavior and how automatic the behavior felt. So some people chose simple habits like drinking a bottle of water with lunch. Others chose more difficult tasks like running for 15 minutes before dinner. At the end of the 12 weeks, the researchers analyzed the data to determine how long it took each person to go from starting a new behavior to automatically doing it. And the answer was that on average, it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic. A habit. And it was 66 days to be exact. Keep in mind that's on average. So some was less, some was more. How long it takes a new habit to form can vary widely depending on the behavior, the person, and the circumstances. Well, in Lally's study, it took anywhere from 18 days to 254 days for the people to form a new habit. So that would be like the lowest number to the highest number. But the average, either way, was still that 66 days. And in other words, if you want to set your expectations appropriately, The truth is that it will probably take you anywhere from 2 months to 8 months to build a new behavior into your life, not 21 days. Interestingly, the researchers also found that missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not materially affect the habit formation process. In other words, it doesn't matter if you mess up every now and then. Building better habits is not an all or nothing process. And so that is today's little mini lesson, the pre-lesson. If you're interested to find out more, you can go to runwithyourwriting.com. Okay.